Sonic Boom, The Rise of Lyric. Oh my god, this game sucks. Here are the reasons why this game sucks in my opinion. 1. As mentioned above, Big Red Button Entertainment planned to develop the game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One using the CryEngine 3 game engine, only for Sega to then mandate that the game had to be a Wii U exclusive, which didn't support it, causing a massive amount of development issues listed below. 2. Speed, the main aspect that makes Sonic stand out from other platformers, is close to non-existent aside from small sections. All characters, Sonic included, move very slowly most of the game. This effectively turned the game into a generic platformer, aka the very thing that Sonic mocked when he was created. 3. The first cutscene of the game is Sonic getting shot and crushed by rocks that seemingly kill him. The cutscene is supposed to cause suspense because it foreshadows events that happen later in the game, but when you actually reach that scene, Sonic isn't even mildly injured from it, making the whole thing completely pointless. 4. It has bad graphics that make it look more like a Nintendo Wii game. This was due to the game's engine being downgraded to fit onto the Wii U. 5. It has awful and poorly implemented physics. The game can crash at times. 6. Due to the game's heavily rushed development, it had numerous bugs and glitches at launch, like clipping through walls and bridges and modules popping out of a dime. The only useful bug was the Knuckles' infinite jump glitch, which allowed the player to bypass all obstacles and finish the game in less than an hour. This bug has since been patched out, though other, much bigger glitches have been found. All those other glitches are related to the same issue as the Knuckles' infinite jump, that being that the game engine incorrectly handles certain actions, bouncing, Sonic's spin dash move and Knuckles' dive, if it is paused at specific points in their animations. 7. Inconsistent frame rate, which frequently drops. The frame rate gets even worse during speed sections, making them hard to navigate. This is mostly because CryEngine 3 was not designed to run on the Wii U. 8. Terrible multiplayer modes. 9. Co-op mode and multiplayer makes the graphics and frame rate even worse than they already were. 10. There was no 4-player co-op. 11. The hub is huge but empty and tedious to travel due to no means of fast traveling. There are barely any NPCs and its only purpose is to get from one level to the other, as well as to complete side quests in exchange for power glyphs that once obtained and equipped don't make any difference at all, making the side quests absolutely pointless. 12. Styx the Badger, the new main character added to the cast, barely appears in the game and does nothing but give you a pointless side quest. Even thought I like Styx the Badger. 13. Unlike other Sonic games, including mediocre and terrible ones like Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic 06 respectively, this game has forgettable and generic soundtrack. 14. It has poor sound effects. 15. The characters almost never shut up. They comment almost every time they grab rings, punch something, press a button, use a bounce pad, etc. Most of the time the dialogue is just the characters pointing out the obvious. An example, in one level, Sonic says "Look, ramps." And Tails, in response, actually says "We can use these as ramps." 16. Overly simplistic combat without any combo options. All you can do is spam the attack button until every enemy dies, and for that matter, enemies have too much health. The inner beam is barely useful aside from tossing enemies into bottomless pits. 17. Puzzles do not take any effort to solve. Worse, the game overly babysits the player, repeatedly giving them the answer to the puzzles despite how blatantly obvious and easy they are, or how many times you've done the exact same task before. 18. Each of the 4 characters' unique abilities are only used to cross special paths, which are coded accordingly. Thus it takes close to no skill to know what character to use. 19. The characters have no invincibility frames, meaning they can be comboed to death a la Link, the Faces of Evil, and Zelda, the Wand of Ganon. 20. Overly easy difficulty. When you run out of health you merely respawn a few seconds later, though enemies don't. This makes it possible to win combat sections by leaving your controller unattended and letting your AI teammates kill all of the enemies while you do absolutely nothing. 21. The game says you die if all characters are knocked out at once, but that's outright impossible because your teammates don't take any damage. 22. You can only hold up to 100 rings. To unlock the ability to increase your maximum ring count, you need to own Sonic Boom, Shattered Crystal on the 3DS, which retailed at a $40 price tag. This ability is completely pointless because you have infinite lives and there's no punishment for dying in the first place. 23. The game's plot was planned to explore the origin of Sonic and Eggman, however due to a mandate from Sega the origin story was scrapped and instead the game was left with a bland uninspired plot of stop the generic villain. 24. Many cutscenes and characters were cut because of this mandate, yet the dialogue referring to them wasn't edited, which leads to audio bugs and characters referring to non-existent characters such as Quincy or Percy. 25. At one point in the story when Sonic and Tails go back in time, it's revealed that QNC, Cliff's friend, was actually the partner of Lyric, but not at any point do they question QNC about being with Lyric, or even ask why he decided to be friends with the heroes. It's never explained why QNC decided to team up with Sonic in the first place. 26. This also resulted in multiple levels having background details that suggest a lore for the world Sonic Boom takes place in, but none of the characters mention or notice those details. 27. The main characters get a drastic change in their personality, and are now boring one-dimensional stereotypes. Now, let's talk about the characters in the game. Sonic changed from a calm, cool and heroic action-loving hedgehog with a serious attitude into the overconfident moronic protagonist who causes the story's main problem in the first place. Tails changed from a smart, kind, friendly and helpful character to the geeky Captain Obvious trying too hard to sound smart. Knuckles changed from a calm, serious and loner character into the big bulky idiot that might usually be seen in old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Amy changed from a sassy, kind, friendly and crazy love interest hedgehog girl of Sonic into a generic NPC woman. Shadow changed from a cold-hearted, serious, tragic and down-to-the-earth rival who still values friends into a typical "you're weak because of your friend's rival." Also, Shadow is in the game because of the fan service. Eggman changed from an evil scientist that wants to take over the world into an incompetent, self-defeating moron, and sadly he is the only likable character in the game. 28. The main antagonist, Lyric, is nothing but a generic "I'm gonna destroy the world because I'm evil" antagonist. 29. The back of the box says that the game has Wii U Pro controller support. The game does actually not support it, most likely due to the short development cycle causing this feature to be dropped at the last minute. Seemingly, as with the manual for Sonic 2006 describing features that do not exist, the packaging design team, who work for the publisher, not the developer, were not informed of this feature being abandoned. 30. Bland and uninspiring bosses that often rely more on enemy hordes than being challenging. 31. Once the game is beaten, an extreme mode is unlocked, which is just the game's hard mode. Even with the added difficulty, the game is still remarkably easy. 32. There is a bug that makes it impossible to complete the game 100% because one of the levels can't be registered as cleared in extreme mode. 33. The patch that was released for the game a few months after release adds virtually no improvements and is over 1 GB in size due to the game being so poorly programmed and put together. 34. Knuckles' character design is unnecessarily creepy. 35. The game has the absolute nerve to end on a cliffhanger, with Eggman finding a device used by Lyric and Metal Sonic surviving. And 36. All of this really showed how Sega clearly didn't learn their lesson from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 and made the exact same mistake 8 years later. And that's the reasons why this game sucks in my opinion. Thank God I never played it and I never will. Or else it would waste my time. I hope this game will no longer be available for download on Microsoft Store on Xbox One. Or I'll be very pissed. I don't know who likes or hates this game. So I'm gonna leave it be. Screw Sonic Boom, The Rise of Lyric. And screw Sonic the Hedgehog for 2006. The rest of the Sonic games are 567,000 times better than Sonic Boom, The Rise of Lyric. End of rant.